away, nestled between green hills and winding rivers, lay a small village called Elora. It was a quiet place where everyone knew each other's names and life moved with the rhythm of nature. Every Saturday morning, something special happened. The village square transformed into a colorful vegetable market. Long before the sun rose, farmers from nearby fields arrived with wooden carts filled with fresh produce. The air was crisp and smelled of earth and dew. Tomatoes as red as rubies, carrots straight from the soil, and cabbages with leaves like emerald fans were laid out on cloth-covered tables. Old Mrs. Anya, the village's best gardener, always had the first stall. She sold her famous herbs and leafy greens, and her voice rang out cheerfully as she welcomed her regular customers. Children ran between the stalls with sticky hands from eating fresh mango slices, while the village elder, Grandpa Theo, sat near the fountain telling stories to anyone who would listen. For the villagers, the market wasn't just a place to buy vegetables. It was where friendships were renewed, recipes exchanged, and news passed from one family to another. Even travelers from nearby towns came to see the market, drawn by its charm and the sweet scent of ripe fruits. By noon, the square would be nearly empty, carts rolling away with laughter still echoing in the air. The market would sleep for another week, leaving the village with full baskets and full of hearts. As the weeks passed, the village market began to grow. New stalls appeared, selling honey, homemade cheese, and even handmade baskets woven from river reeds. The village of Elora, though small, was becoming known in distant places for its warm smiles and fresh produce. One day, a stranger arrived. He was a tall man with a worn hat and a curious notebook. His name was Liam, a traveler and writer who had heard of Elora's famous market. He walked slowly through the square, sketching the stalls, talking to the vendors, and tasting everything he could. "Why do you write so much?" little Nora asked him as he sat near Grandpa Theo. "I write stories about special places," Liam replied, smiling. "And this market is more than just a place to buy food. It's a piece of magic." The villagers were shy at first, but Liam's kind eyes and gentle words made them feel proud. He stayed for a month, learning their recipes, helping the farmers pick beans, and even helping Mrs. Anya arrange her herbs just right. When he finally left, he left behind a gift, a small book filled with stories and drawings of Elora and its market. On the first page, he wrote, "To the heart of a village that beats every Saturday morning." Years later, that book brought more visitors, more friends, and even more colors to the market. Yet nothing changed the spirit of Elora. The laughter still echoed, the vegetables stayed fresh. The market remained what it had always been, a celebration of life, shared under the sun in a village that never forgot the magic of coming together. Many seasons passed, and the village of Elora continued to bloom like the gardens around it. The market became a tradition so beloved that even the children who once ran between the stalls grew up to open their own. Nora, the curious girl who had once asked Liam about his notebook, had grown into a clever young woman. She took over her grandmother's herb stall when Mrs. Anya grew too old to work every Saturday. Nora didn't just sell herbs. She taught others how to grow them, how to mix teas, and how to heal with the power of plants. One summer, a heavy storm rolled through Elora. Rain poured for days and the market square flooded. For the first time in memory, the Saturday market didn't open. The villagers stayed indoors, their baskets empty and spirits low. But Nora had an idea. She went door to door, gathering help. "The market is more than a place," she told everyone. "It can live anywhere." So, with everyone working together, the market moved indoors, into the old community barn at the edge of the village. They swept the floors, hung lanterns, and brought in long wooden tables. That Saturday, under a roof dripping with rainwater, the market came back to life. People laughed louder, talked longer, and shared more than they ever had before. It was as if the storm had reminded them how special their tradition was. From then on, rain or shine, the market never stopped. And every year, on the day of the great storm, the villagers celebrated the Heart of Elora festival, a day of stories, music, and remembering how they saved something precious by standing together. And so, in that distant village wrapped in hills and kindness, the vegetable market remained a symbol of life, love, and the beauty of simple things shared in community.